I think organizations do not categorically advertise that they need multi-skilled people, but what I've experienced in this last few years is that if you know things, they do appreciate it, because at the end of the day, if they need to get some work done and you can do it quicker because you understand another field, they would not mind you not having that knowledge. They appreciate the fact that you were able to bring in that experience and deliver better because of it.
What about in cases where the priorities are conflicting? So, for example, you have a very pressing or demanding deadline or
Yeah.
project at work, which is conflicting with maybe your your son needs you for school. So, in that point, those priorities are conflicting, and you can't just like
Yeah.
automatically pick. How do you manage that? And if you have to choose the work thing, how do you manage the mom guilt of that?
So I ask for support. I'm not ashamed asking for support.
Yeah.
I will tell my husband, look, I have a deadline
Yeah.
and you got to show up here for me because this is new for me and I am still trying to get my footing. There's a reason why we live in a society. Otherwise, everybody would be on their own, why do we live in a community? Because we need each other. And that's the thing we miss out when we are trying to get this validation, like, no, I can do it all. No, if you tell that to yourself, at the end of the day, you will be the last person you take care of.
Yeah.
And then everything just crumbles down.
There are certain times when you have all these ideas, but then there's also work and there's also your passions. How do you advise someone to just be able to handle everything and not even burn out at the end of it?
Okay. All right. So I think when you say you want to build a side business or a hustle, the most important step where you start is you first need to identify what is your niche, what is your passion, what is it that you're willing to serve 24/7 if it is asked of you. And there are a lot of tools in the market you will find, even coaching roadmaps around it. A lot of coaches have come up with stuff. When we were growing up, these things weren't around, but now they are actually at your disposal. So you can go and actually do that questionnaire and find out your passion if you do not know. But if you know that, if you wake me up at midnight and you ask me to do this, am I able to do it? That is one question that you need to answer to yourself truthfully. That, okay, this is my passion and now I'm going to pursue it.
Hello and welcome to the Money and People podcast, the show where we connect the dots between financial success and the power of human capital. Today on the show, we are joined by Meghna Mehta. Welcome, Meghna.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. And today we are going to be discussing building a multi-passionate career. Meghna is an audit manager, a consultant, an author, a podcaster, a mom, you name it. And we are going to be discussing how she does it all. I'm so excited.
I am excited as well. Really, believe me, I am.
Okay, so to just break the ice, for those people who don't know you, who is Meghna?
Okay, thank you for that question. And a lot of people answer this by telling their roles.
Yeah.
I would like to do it a bit differently. So, me, I'm a seeker, I'm a learner of life. But if you would like to put me in roles and understand the way people usually do understand this question, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I'm a daughter in law. And professionally, I'm an operations head, an audit manager, and a consultant to a lot of my friends and family. And I've also been into IT. So, yes, like you introduced me very rightly, I have had a lot of hats on my head. But as a person, I'm somebody who is growing with this journey of life. And I like to call myself a traveler of life for that reason. I do not want to box myself into definitions that are given by society or people around us, so systems around us, because I think each and every one of us is a lot more than we just think ourselves to be because of these definitions. So, yeah, I'm a traveler of life.
Okay, that's interesting. A seeker, a traveler of life. And if your life right now was a chapter in a book, what would the title be?
Wow, I love that because I love books and everything
Okay.
about them. So if my life was a book right now, this chapter of mine would be called The Road Trip, because
Oh.
I'm at a point from where I started. I was something else, somebody else, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, professionally. And now I'm going towards something else. So, yeah,
Okay.
it is like a trip.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things, interesting things and adventures that are going on in this trip.
Yeah.
So, if my life was a book right now,
Yeah.
then this chapter is definitely going to be the most interesting one, and it would be a road trip full of adventures and lessons and memories of a
Okay.
lifetime.
Okay, the most interesting one.
Yeah.
And what's one thing that people would be surprised to learn about you?
I like to sing.
Oh, really? Wait, you like to, but can you sing? Because there's a difference.
So yeah, so I like to sing and I can sing. So there
Okay.
are like Indian music,
Yeah.
Bollywood music. There are a lot of songs that I enjoy singing, and
Okay.
I'm not so much out of tone. Like you won't mind sitting next to me if I'm singing.
That's one way to
So
put it. I'm not so much out of tune.
yes,
Okay.
so yeah, I'm pleasant to the ears if I
Okay.
can put it that way.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's really interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that by looking at you. I
yeah.
wouldn't. And what's your go-to mantra on the days when it's tough or it's just hectic?
I think there are a lot of days, to be honest, where you're not at your 100%. And I think that's with all of us. We are human beings and we are not supposed to be like machines working at efficiency of 100% every single day.
Yeah.
But on the days when I feel low, I think I meditate and I write
Oh, okay.
and journal
Yeah.
sometimes. And I think those are the things that ground me back and then shift my mind from all the chaos that's going around that's making me feel difficult or low or like not so productive. And
Yeah.
then I set the reset button
Yeah.
and then I go back to being what I want to do or what I have to deliver.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think those are my go-tos as well, especially journaling.
Yeah.
Uh, there are times when life is so busy, especially now with work, side projects, being a mom. There's just
Yeah.
like little time to journal. But as soon as I begin to write, I start to feel like, okay, I'm getting back to who I really am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also because with everything around us, there's so much busyness in
Yeah.
perception of the task of your circumstances or your place or your home. It's busy in terms of your environment that you feel overwhelmed at times. And
Yeah.
I think the best way to detach yourself from being that overwhelmed is that you sit and you start writing. And when you
Yeah.
do that, it just, your mind just goes from the survival mode in a very calm mode and you're able to see things differently
Yeah.
and feel what you actually need to feel instead of just feeling overwhelmed with work and tasks and
Yes.
emotions and everything.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, now I would like us to go back to the beginning.
Yeah, sure. Let's go back.
As we introduced you, we noticed that you were a multi-passionate kind of person. But what was the beginning of this journey in terms of your career? Did you always want to be in technology, in accounting? How did you
Yeah.
come to be where you are right now?
Thank you. Thank you for asking me that because a lot of people ask me that when they learn my background, and not so much if they don't know that I shifted from IT into accounts and stuff. But I think if we really have to see where it all started from, it would be as a student when I was in school. And my family and my teachers all encouraged me a lot to explore. So I've done drama, I've done dance, I've done the choir, I've done anchoring, and I've participated in several events in sports, in curricular activities, and they never tried to put me down from exploring and seeing what I was good at.
Mhm.
And I think that led me to have a mindset where I'm not scared to try. And IT was my first love. So when I went into engineering, I always wanted to do that. and I enjoyed my engineering. And then I had the job of my dream that was in my dream company.
Okay.
Yeah. So I worked with Infosys, and from there on, I wanted to change things, move ahead, study further. And I was in the midst of actually joining a program when I got engaged to my husband and then got married and came to Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I was about to ask, how do you leave your dream job? But now it
Yes.
makes sense.
So I thought I'll do it here. Then, so he was initially posted in Johannesburg for his work. And from India, I came to Johannesburg. And I went through all the formalities to start studying further there. And then he got posted again to Zambia.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And so I came to Zambia. And then I started to explore what was here. And in that exploration, I found out that there were a lot of opportunities, not so much for IT, but there were a lot in accounts. And because I didn't want to be that person who gets into a comfort zone and just lets life goes by, so I decided to say, like, I always wanted to study further. I know it's a switch of domains, and my husband was also the one who supported me and gave me the idea, let's try out CA. Let's go to Zika and see if you can just enroll and how it goes.
Mhm.
And that's how I landed into accounts.
Okay.
And then I started liking it.
Okay.
Because I was always a science student. I had never paid as much attention to accounts as a subject.
Mhm.
But I feel that finance as an industry has always been part of my life in one way or another and calling to me. Even while graduation, I was selected by one of the schools in London, which was the major was finance. And at that point of time, I just wanted to do engineering. I didn't want to go into finance.
Yeah.
And so I passed that opportunity. And a lot of people were like, why? Because, at the end of the day, you're going to be doing something about business or money, but it's like, I want to study something else. I love
Yeah.
doing something else. And at this point, I want to do engineering. So
Yeah.
I went in my graduation with what I wanted to do. And then, yes, this wasn't so much planned, but I think it's turned out to be great because now I'm
Okay.
starting to love the numbers as much
Yeah.
as I love my tech.
Okay, that's really, really interesting. I am excited to learn that actually this was birthed from just all these movements that you had, and also
Yeah,
identifying the opportunity that is there in Zambia.
yeah.
But also, I'm curious to learn from you because CA is a Zambian
Mm-hmm.
sort of qualification.
Yeah.
And in case your husband moves
Moves
again, I
again.
don't know what
Yeah.
what his career looks like now. Why did you opt for the CA as opposed to like ACCA, CIMA, and those other
So
globally?
I think now Zika has gone
Yes,
about
now, yes.
explaining people. So I was one of the first batches when
Ah,
they went global already. Like it was the beginning.
okay.
So
Okay.
I did my research on that as well, and it seemed right for me at that point to
Yeah.
do a Zika. And also, I think like I said, I'm not scared to try new. I'm currently also looking at what I can study further. What can I upskill with?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't
So
stop
yes,
there.
so it
Yeah.
doesn't stop there. So even in case there's another movement which I've not seen, like this one I had not seen, but if there's another one, I won't mind. I'll see what I need to add, to go
Yeah.
from there. And then I have this all this different experience that also adds up.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's always a bank of transferable skills that you carry with you, and it doesn't matter essentially that what domain you came from if you're able to deliver what you asked.
I guess, but again, sometimes the fear with that, I mean, I'm speaking as someone
Yeah,
who
yeah,
is
yeah.
coming from the opposite, right?
Yeah.
I came from finance, I studied accounting, I worked in audit, I worked in finance, and then I pivoted to operations,
Yeah.
right? But also, it's like if I decided to get back into finance, I know
Mm-hmm.
there would be that question mark to say, but aren't you now far
Far away.
removed from
Yeah.
finance? And
That's true.
would knowing what the job market is right now, it's like you would then be pitched up against someone who's been doing accounting throughout. Well, you have the transferable skills.
Mm.
It's like there would obviously be a preference
Yeah.
to someone who's not stepped out of finance and then come back. So the thing is, we are like people like us
Yeah.
who we love learning new things and
Right.
we are not scared of pivoting to other fields. But with the transferable skills, is are organizations ready for a person who is multi-skilled? Are they ready to embrace someone on the basis that they have the transferable skills?
Yeah. So I think I came from the same sphere when I was starting, with my journey in accounts, and it started to work out for me as a self-study student. The only thing that I kept hearing was, well, will people even consider that I have experience in IT and consulting, and or I'm starting afresh? And I did start afresh. Like, I took a lot of voluntary jobs. I did voluntary bookkeeping for people,
Mm-hmm.
just so that I can give them that confidence that I know this, I've worked in this. But what I realized when I joined the organizations is that with tech right now, it's when I started or when I studied, it was a different field.
Yeah.
But right now, as in today's time, it is
Yeah.
something that's completely integrated to whatever you do.
Yeah.
So, right now, people who are into AI or who understand AI will be better managers 5 years down the line, as opposed to those who are not. And they will have to forcibly upskill themselves. Either the organizations will make them do that or they do it personally, but they will have to upskill to grow, because the organization has to grow. And now this is a new tool, just like internet was a new tool, AI is a new tool, and people will have to get used to it and how it stays in our lives. And so I think organizations do not categorically advertise that they need multi skilled people. But what I've experienced in this last few years is that if you know things, they do appreciate it, because at the end of the day, if they need to get some work done and you can do it quicker because you understand another field, they would not mind you not having that knowledge. They
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the fact that you were able to bring in that experience and deliver better because of it.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that's true. And I guess perhaps there are organizations that are already embracing that,
Yeah.
and hopefully others will also catch up. Now, what was uh, what were some of the challenges that you faced with changing locations and having to transition from one space to another, or did you not face any challenges?
No, I cannot say I did not face any challenges. That would be a lie. So I think life prepares you for where you have to go even before you know it. And for me, I think that started with my childhood. My father was in the army, so we would get posted every 2 years to a new location. And then as a kid, you are making new friends, you're adjusting to a new place altogether, leaving people behind. And at that point of time, as a child, you do not like it very much, but it's part of your life. And you learn, I think, a very important thing, that is that you're not at the same place with the same people all the time in your life. And there will be a day when you have to move out. And I think that's what worked a lot for me when I shifted from India to Africa,
Okay.
because mentally moving places was not a concern, because I knew how I'm going to adjust. It's just that it takes a bit of time to learn. It was a different country, different people, different culture. And over the period of years, I've realized there's a lot of commonality, really, the
Yeah.
way we look at things. So I've learned to understand the situation that way. So yeah, it took me time because it was new.
Yeah.
But then my grandfather had come to Malawi in the 1970s as a representative of government of India to
Okay.
plan the city.
Yeah.
And then when I was getting married and everybody knew my husband is posted in Africa, he was the one who guided me to say, "You like it there. I've been there. Don't worry. It's a
Wow.
very nice place to be."
Wow.
So I think that kind of gave me the confidence that, it's okay. When he could stay in 1970s, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the 2000s we are
Yeah.
talking about. So it was different, yes, because initially when I came here, there was no WhatsApp at
Oh,
that
when
point
did you
of
come
time.
here?
2014, that's the year WhatsApp
Oh,
actually got
wow.
introduced in a lot of
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
So my first year in Zambia, we were still using the calling cards to talk back home. There
Oh,
was no WhatsApp,
wow.
and there used to be this internet provider. We were in the Leopards Hill area, something called an iConnect or something,
Yeah.
because Zamtel lines weren't there in the society we were in, yard we were in. So yeah, it was new to me, because back then in India, these things were obvious to me
Yeah.
from where I was coming.
Yeah.
And then when I landed here, I saw that okay, this is a journey for our country right now, and let's see, we've been there, so we'll see
Yeah.
how we'll go about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think, and I think initially when you mentioned moving from India to South Africa, then moving from South
South
Africa
Africa
to
to
Zambia,
Zambia. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I must be like a very unsupportive wife. Reason being is just because I know I would probably hesitate, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
how is this going to affect my career? But you were just sounding like, oh, we moved then from
Yeah.
here, then we moved there. And I was going to ask, like, how did you just do that? But now it makes sense what you've said, that you had experienced
Moving.
moving when you were much younger.
Yeah.
And I guess it speaks to what they say, that every experience that we go through shapes us, because
Correct.
then I don't know, the universe or life or God was preparing you for in your
Yes.
adulthood the various relocations that you would have to do.
True.
So that's
That's
very
true.
interesting. And when you were in South Africa, you did some consulting work.
Yeah.
Just tell me, how did you set that up, and how did you go about even finding clients for your consultant? You were consulting in IT at that time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was. So, like I said, I had seen family and friends when women get married and they move around from the city or their careers, they settle in a comfortable place and then they have this hesitation of going back for XYZ reasons. And I didn't want to be one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was very clear in my mind that I will not stop putting in the effort,
Yeah.
because one thing I believe in is that you keep putting in the effort, and if you need, you'll get the results when they are right for you.
Yeah.
So you just need to put in your side of the effort
Yeah.
and then keeping at it. And so when I moved to South Africa, at that point of time, I was also doing like a side hustle. I used to build websites and stuff for people.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had a few clients in India when I was moving. So I did work for them. Then I developed this laundry management system for somebody in South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, they wanted to try me, like it was a pilot project of kinds. So I developed that. So I kept myself busy. Then
Yeah.
then I when I came here, I developed now you have apps for making all these beautiful videos on birthdays and stuff. At that point there were no apps. So I used to do that for people. Like I would ask them, I edit videos for birthday presentations and parties and
Yeah.
yeah, surprises and stuff like that.
Okay.
So word of mouth helped me a lot at
Mhm.
that point of time. Facebook helped me a lot.
Mhm.
Like now you have people working on Instagram and WhatsApp. At that point
Mhm.
of time, Facebook did help because that was one of the places where people had started advertising. But mostly I'll say it was word of mouth because of the work that I'd already done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, do you still consult in that space?
I don't consult, but I do help people with graphics and
Oh.
websites and setups and POS system setups. And
Yeah.
because the basic knowledge of IT is always going to be there with me, and I like to keep up to date. So
Yeah.
I'll be someone, if you sit with me and have a casual conversation, I'll probably tell you 10 tools of productivity that you can use with AI, and then again champion and then say, but please don't use them on your phone because it's not okay. Your information is not under your control if you use it on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I am somebody who likes to stay up to date, and then if somebody needs help, I do help people,
Yeah.
in that respect as well. Yeah, if they need something that needs my dedicated time, then yes, maybe I can say that it can be a consulting
Yeah.
job because my time has value now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess you've had to, even as you began to learn a new skill, build a new career in accounting, the tech space also has been changing so much.
Yes, it has.
So just from what you've explained, even how you would make a reel today. You guys used to make reels, but it wasn't quite a reel in a
Correct.
traditional sense. It was a video, which
Yes.
is a mashup of everything that happened at a
Yes.
birthday. So even with your other career or interest in IT, you've had to continue building on that.
Yeah.
And now it's like you have a blend of the
Yes.
accounting and the IT.
IT. Yes.
So that's a very interesting blend. Someone yesterday was talking about how they wish that people could be paired when applying for jobs.
Yeah.
I saw a video where someone said, okay, for example, if I'm really good at tech and my friend is really good at accounting, then we must look for jobs together so that a company is sort of hiring a multi-skill
Yeah.
as consultants. And then people in the comments were like, no, but companies are already doing that by from their own people. They are then able to see who can learn additional skills and then
Yeah.
train those people. So that's really interesting. It's like you're in two in one. Someone
Yeah.
is talking about you must hire a pair, but here is one person who's already now got both skills. So
Yes.
you don't even need to hire a pair,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And now coming to your authoring,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that. What works have you written so far?
Okay, so let's take you back for this as well.
Yes.
So, like I said, I always go back to writing to ground.
Yeah.
And before I knew that you go back to writing to ground yourself, I've been writing. I was in grade one, and we were visiting my father's friend in the army, and his daughter was like, I'm going to start a book club. Will you be part of it? I'm like, sure. She was just a little bit older to us. And then in that conversation, she said, I write poems. And I'm like, what is that? Because as a grade one student, you're still just learning a lot. It's like, a new thing, a lot of new things. And that's the first time I heard of somebody who's not a teacher and doesn't have a book writing a poem. And then she showed me one. And then I went back that night home and then I wrote one.
Okay.
Yes. And that was my first on a
Yeah.
small piece of paper.
Yeah.
And then I think from there, I just naturally took interest in it. And then I wrote a lot of poems. So I've written a lot of poetry and I've published a book on poetry about 2 years back.
Oh, nice.
Yes. It's not all of what I've written, it's just part of what I've written that
Okay.
I've published.
Yeah.
And so it's always been a part of me. At every stage of my life, writing has been a part of who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I think even just the way you write, like your posts when you post on LinkedIn, that's what caught my eye. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, who is this person? So that's quite interesting
Yes.
to see how your creative side comes out. But also tell me, in terms of your creativity with writing, how does it help you better even as a professional as you're executing your work?
So I think it's always helped me. In IT, also, basically, you do a lot of problem solving. In fact, let me not just say IT, as an engineer,
Yeah.
the best thing that you learn out of the 4 years you are in, and no matter whether you were in IT, electronics, civil, mechanical, electrical, any subject, what engineering at the core truly teaches you is problem solving effectively. With the minimal resources that you have,
Yeah.
you solve a problem.
Yeah.
So in IT, you need to think out of the box there a lot of times to deliver on a result. And that's where your creative part of the brain helps. Because you're not thinking what you've been taught. It's not just the basic core, what everybody is thinking. You have to think, okay, I have to go from A to B, but this road is blocked.
Yeah.
Let me find a shorter, faster route because I have to be at B at this particular time.
Yeah.
And then when I came into accounts, the creative side helps in understanding the business processes better, you know? Because if I think that's where I feel that I don't know, my creative side has helped me. I've not
Yeah.
seen a lot of people like that. They would, it's okay to know or compare what is the standard and then what is a business doing. But then, as a person who has an accounting or finance knowledge, you need to help that business become better,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's where the creative part helps.
Yeah.
That, okay, what can I add to this process or subtract from this process that it still remains integral to what it's supposed to be as an industry standard, but the delivery is better or easier or
Yeah.
faster or more cost effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's where it helps me quite a lot.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think there's call for accountants to not just be people who are punching numbers, and we need to bring in that creativity in how we interpret the results, in how we explain the results, in how we improve the financial processes. So that makes a lot of sense. Is that that's what will make someone stand out from someone who's just about punching the numbers and
Yeah.
writing the books. So that's really interesting. So how do you manage to switch between the creative, the tech person, or do you always find ways to blend each side of you in your work
I think I look at it as in what is required of me.
at
And
that
I'll,
point?
yes, and a lot
Okay.
of people talk about having priorities in life. But I think for me, I can speak for myself. I have learned to act on priorities. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to handle so many things or be effectively part of so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even on a personal side, sometimes friends do ask this question: how do you manage? But I'm like, I time block, I prioritize. If this is not right now the right thing for me to do, like missing a party, I will miss a party and I will attend to work. And if I feel that no, this, I have to be at the PTC for my son's school, that's something I want to do as a mom, I will take a break or a Mother's Day from work and I'll go to his school and do that. So I think I live my priorities. And that's what's made it easier for me to be there in multiple places. But when it comes to work, the tech and finance right now, I would say they run parallelly quite a lot, because even for finance, we are running on systems that are on
Yeah.
computers, and then you have to help your peers understand what is the process and what is the entry here. And so it's part of the work that you're
Yeah.
doing. So there's really not a switch. It just is together. Like you said, right now,
Yeah.
it's just together. So
Yeah.
I don't have to switch so much. But sometimes what happens is that you assume that this is such a basic thing the other person would know, but they
Yeah.
are not from a tech background, so they don't know. And then I have to remind myself that, okay, let's take them to the basic and explain them from there. Let's start from there, because they don't know. I know about it, they don't know about it. So yeah, that's how I work
Okay.
around it.
Okay, and I love it's interesting how you brought up the aspect of you being able to then determine how you show up. But what about in cases where the priorities are conflicting? So, for example, you
Mm-hmm.
have a very pressing or demanding deadline or
Yeah.
project at work, which is conflicting with maybe your son needs you for
Mm-hmm.
school. So in that point, those priorities are conflicting and you can't just like
Yeah.
automatically pick. How do you manage that? And if you have to choose the work thing,
Mm-hmm.
how do you manage the mom guilt of
So,
that?
so I ask for support. I'm not
Ah,
ashamed asking for support.
yeah.
I will tell my husband, look, I have a deadline
Yeah.
and you got to show up here for me,
Ah,
because this is new for me and I am still trying to get my footing
yeah.
in this.
So having a
So
supportive partner
yes,
also
supporting part.
helps
And
you.
sometimes if my husband is traveling, I've asked friends to step in. And that's something that I've realized here when I shifted to Africa, that I had to build my own support system here. And I tell friends back home as well that, why are you so afraid for asking for support? I don't want to make this man versus woman conversation, but our men peers and colleagues do not hesitate to ask for support.
They don't.
So then, if you are equally capable and delivering equally, why are you so afraid asking for support?
Yeah.
There is, at the end of the day, no medal you are going to get to, be doing everything by yourself.
Yeah.
You need to understand what is more important to you and
Yeah.
what is it that you can deliver better at that point of time, and just ask for support.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised, people are there to help you you know
Yeah.
so many times. The first time I had to break this barrier for myself, I was so hesitant asking my own husband for it. But the minute I asked and he supported is when I realized that it's not that difficult. People just make it out to be that difficult. So your in-laws will support, your friends will support, your family will support. You just need to go out there and ask up direct that, you know
Yeah.
what, this is right now more important and I need you to support me,
Yeah.
you know? And they will. They
Yeah.
will. It's just that because we are brought up in a conditioning when we are supposed to do it all.
Yeah. And we saw our mothers doing it all, being
Yes.
stressed out and not asking for help.
And then it's like a good thing, a
Yes.
validation the society gives you that you did it everything by yourself. No, you can't grow like that as a person.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we live in a society. Otherwise, everybody would be on their own, just, why do we live in a community? Because we need each other. And that's the thing we miss out when we are trying to get this validation, like, no, I can do it all. No, if you tell that to yourself, at the end of the day, you will be the last person you take care of. And
Yeah.
then everything just crumbles down.
Yeah.
And so I learned this. I'll not say that I learned it very early, but I think this is now how I manage, because I ask for support. And I ask at work as well.
Ah.
Like, emergencies with children don't tell and come.
Yeah.
Your child gets sick at school, he gets sick at school.
Yeah.
And then I will walk up to my MD and my boss or my GM and say, look, I've had this emergency and I need to borrow 2 hours. And I will deliver on the deliverables after work or from home. But I
Yeah.
need to go right now.
Yeah.
And they understand you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, even the person sitting on the other side is a human and he has had the life challenges. So I think it's how you portray yourself.
Yeah.
And then you give them a solution. Sometimes when people ask for a space like this,
Yeah.
they forget to give an alternative, because the person sitting on the other side also needs a deliverable at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you are able to do that, they will be able to give you the space. However, if you don't manage that well, then it's costing them.
Yeah.
So as a working professional, you need to understand you can't be a cost to your company. You are an asset,
Yes.
you know
Yeah.
So I don't like the word resource. I even wrote a post about it on my
Yeah.
LinkedIn. You are not a resource, you are human capital. You are an asset to your organization. And the minute you start thinking like it, you will actually start working like it.
Yeah.
You will not stop thinking about yourself as a cost to the company. You will actually start building for the company. And
Yes.
that perspective shift also comes in situations like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, as an employee you can have your rights and everything. I can take a day off, but when you go with a mindset of a solution towards somebody you're reporting to, it changes their perception of you, because they can see that even in your situation of a crisis, you are actually thinking about the company as well. You're trying to see how it can be best for both instead of just fixating on one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they get, so even as a leader you get the feel that, okay, this person right now needs time, and I think I can give that. They don't mind doing that.
Yeah. I think that really makes a lot of sense. I mean, someone said we work with humans, not machines. So
Right.
life happens, but I think one thing that I've really learned from what you have said is to the part where you said we need to provide solutions. So life happens, you've had to step out of work, but how are you going to make up that
Yes.
you don't miss the deadline? Because you find that even with kids, like, I mean, even for my daughter, if she's sick, most of the time it's where you go home, you go to the hospital, they're given medicine, you administer the medicine. So the rest of the time you are observing,
Yeah.
right? You are not just nursing the baby the whole time. You can sneak out an hour and do something on your laptop. But people like to sit at home and fold their arms and say, no, my child is sick, so I can't do anything,
Yeah.
you know? So I think even if your boss or your supervisor is able to notice that you are still dedicated and committed, I don't think they'll have a problem giving you that time off again if you have an emergency. But people like to take advantage and
Correct.
abuse
Yes.
those
That's wrong.
situations, and they take the whole day, whereas maybe this emergency could have lasted 2 hours and you're able to get back to your work,
Right.
but you take advantage and you're gone for the whole day. So
Yeah.
next time that person will hesitate to give you that time
And
off.
then it's not just about you. So for
Yeah.
instance, you said, like, yeah, people miss you. So if, for example, somebody in my team is taking advantage of emergency situations,
Yeah.
then I'll have to put in a policy that's applied to the whole team. It's not
Yes.
just about me. So I would like to tell this to people, that it's not always just about you. How you are behaving is also a reflection on the whole team.
Yeah.
The management is dealing with a lot of people. They're not just dealing with you.
Yeah.
So when you take or make actions like this, you should always feel, what is it going to have as an impact on my team? Because
Exactly.
let's say you return in those 2 hours.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the management can be comfortable giving that to us to somebody else as well.
Yeah.
But if you took advantage of the situation, then it's like it'll be a no for everybody.
Yeah.
And then you are also at loss at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's like thinking beyond that minute,
Yes.
having a vision, like they say about companies and spaces. And it's like that. You have to think long term about it. You
Yeah.
can't be that selfish.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
That is so true. You reminded me of a case recently. I know someone who was complaining. She is on the other side, so she's managing a team,
Mm-hmm.
and a team member was away for about a week because
Mm-hmm.
their child was sick. So they come back now,
Mm-hmm.
and because they are catching up with work, so now they are working overtime, and they're like, I need to claim overtime. So it's like, what do you mean you need to? This
Yeah.
overtime is not because your normal work
Correct.
is stretched and now you have to stay late. It's because you missed a week of work and now
Mm-hmm.
you're catching up. So why should the company have to pay
Pay
for
you
that?
right.
So it's those things that sometimes you just expect the person on the other side to be able to see that this excess hours I'm working is because I wasn't around.
Yeah.
Now I can't start claiming that money because I'm the one who's trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the conversations around this that we need to sort of address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
And for those people who are creative and they're building different um, passions and careers around those passions, some of them are building side businesses alongside with their work. What advice do you have for them? And you can just speak directly to them. What advice would you have for them? Because sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming,
Yeah.
especially if you are creative, because you have so many ideas. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
myself. Like
Yeah,
today,
I
I'm thinking of
agree.
this. Tomorrow, I'm thinking of that, and sometimes if you let it simmer down, you find, okay, maybe it was just a spur of the moment. But
Mm-hmm.
there are certain times when you have all these ideas, but then there's also work and there's also your passions. How do you advise someone to just be able to handle everything and not even burn out at the end of it all?
Okay. All right. So I think when you say you want to build a side business or a hustle, the most important step where you start is you first need to identify what is your niche, what is your passion, what is it that you're willing to serve 24/7 if it is asked of you. And there are a lot of tools in the market you'll find, even coaching roadmaps around it. A lot of coaches have come up with stuff. When we were growing up, these things weren't around, but now they are actually at your disposal, so you can go and actually do that questionnaire and find out your passion if you do not know. But if you know that, if you wake me up at midnight and you ask me to do this, am I able to do it? Is one question that you need to answer to yourself truthfully. That okay, this is my passion and now I'm going to pursue it. And once you have your niche, then you start taking actions. The problem I find is that when you have a lot of ideas, you do not implement them. And then you never know if it's going to be fruitful or not. And believe you me, until you do it, you will never know whether this is going to work out for you or not. So, like, I had a friend who had all this excitement about podcasting, and he's been researching for 6 months, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have one single episode. And I told him, look, I don't think this is your passion. It's just something you want to try. And
Yeah.
that's the reason you've been hesitant and you're waiting for the perfect time and the perfect equipment and now the perfect guest. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be that one day. This has to be today, has to be your day one. And that's when you start. So you just write down. It's always good, no matter how good the tech gets, you always take a paper and a pen and you write down. And you say to yourself, okay, this is what I want to do. These are the people who I want to serve. This is the problem that I'm solving. And these are the tools that I need. And you get started from there. And there is no other way without action that you get started
Okay. And on the other side of what you've just mentioned, there are also people who may be opposed to someone doing so many things at once.
on. Mm-hmm.
Like for myself, because I'm working, I love to try different things. So initially, when I just started my career, I used to sell clothes on the side. Then I started baking on the side. Then I stopped doing that. People still ask me if I'm baking today. I'm like, what? Do
Mm-hmm.
you see how many things I'm doing right now? So right now I do podcasting. I also love hiking for fun. So I have a hiking club. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people are like, isn't she doing too much? Like she's doing too much. And they won't say that directly to me, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you also face this, maybe not in the same way, but
Yeah.
there's just sometimes society would want to limit, especially women, to doing one thing. Like,
Yeah.
you're a mom. What time
Yeah.
do you even have to be a good mom if you're doing work and you're doing all these other things? So, how do you think about the whole notion of a one career path sort of person versus someone who has multiple passions, and how do they just handle the different voices that try to box you into being one particular thing?
Yeah. Okay, let me do a part answer to this
Sure.
beautiful question that you've asked.
Yeah.
And I'll begin with ending what you previously asked. I did not touch upon the burnout thing.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So I feel burnout is not about being in multiple places. And we think that we are doing multiple things at a time, but there are a lot of scientific studies which say that you do just one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Right. So, but you can do different things
Yeah.
at different times.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that was now termed as multitasking.
Yes.
Even at office, when you're reading the email, you're essentially reading the email. And then you have a WhatsApp and you look at the WhatsApp, but you're not on the email now. Your eyes on the WhatsApp.
Yes.
So you need to understand that you do not multitask at any point of time. Your brain is only trained to do one single task at a time.
Yeah.
And that's why techniques like time blocking and prioritizing help you, because then you have dedicated a space for that one thing in your life. Now, coming to the point of where you asked, and I love that about you, that you are doing so many things, because I think that itself makes you a great mom, not just a good mom, because people who are judging us, working mothers or working women, are not doing it intentionally most of the times,
Yeah.
but they still do. And
Yeah.
I'm not blaming anyone. People do, but it's the important thing here is that you are setting a great example for your children, because they are looking at you living your life and not being limited by things and terms and definitions. And I think that's the best way to bring up a child, because they learn by seeing what you are doing. So if you are doing your best, and a hiking is such a beautiful thing to do, it engages you physically, it resets you mentally. Why would you not do and show your child that you're going for hiking? And yes, you can be podcasting and doing your work, and why not?
Yeah.
And that gives them the confidence that it's okay to try 10 things and then love one.
Yeah.
And what's the harm in that? I can be good at so many things and I can be great at one. And that great at one can be my work or my business. But that doesn't mean I have to have a whole of me 100% dedicated to that. I can enjoy the good things in life. And I think that's why we are here, to enjoy and immerse in this beautiful human birth that we've got.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's making most of it. So I feel I'm not judging the people who do not do multiple things. And it
Yeah.
would be not fair to say that, if they are enjoying what they're doing, it's not okay. It is. But I think as a society, we need to stop judging people who do multiple things and who are trying multiple things.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when you did baking, you loved, maybe that phase you loved baking and you did that and it helped you earn something on the side.
Yeah.
But now, right now, you are at a different place. We grow every single day. I think there's a fact I read somewhere. Every 6 months, your skin cells change from 0 to 100. So
Wow.
essentially, you are a new person every 6 months,
Wow.
biologically.
Wow.
If you are a new person every 6 months, how do you expect your mind to not grow?
Mm.
How is it fair to your own being here
Yeah.
to not let it explore what it wants to? And
Yeah.
so I understand sometimes it's about money, financial problems can be a motivation for some people, and they might not get a chance to do anything else because they have so many responsibilities. I've been at that place, I understand that. But it also doesn't mean that those who don't have such responsibilities should just limit themselves because the society feels it's too much, or they want to judge that you're not being good parents about it. No, that's not. I don't think they are in a position to judge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because they've not lived your journey
Yeah.
and they've not lived mine.
Yeah.
So they don't understand where we are coming from or what we are trying to bring up, how we are trying to, project things on our kids, or what learnings we want to give them. So I think that flexibility needs to be there in terms of society, that we need to stop judging people.
Yeah.
That's all. There has to be, just, you don't have to accept it as a fact,
Yeah.
but all you need to do is not judge
Yeah.
somebody who's trying different things
Yeah.
and not root for them to fail.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people would love it to say, I told you so, it's not going to work out, I
Yes.
told you so. No, but what are you getting out of that?
Yeah.
I mean, you will feel, if somebody you help grow actually grows out in life, there is no other better feeling than that.
Yeah.
I'll give a small example. There was this junior I had in college. And while in college, we used to run this club called for languages. And then he came from a Hindi based school. So the college was, medium of communication was English. So he was having a tough time understanding technical things. And he came to us, and I helped him learn some basics of English.
Yeah.
And today, that person is managing big teams sitting in Europe.
Wow.
After his engineering, he joined a technical company and got an international posting. The day he got an international posting, he messaged me on LinkedIn to say, ma'am, I have received an international posting and I'm going to.
Wow.
And that feeling I cannot forget, because that was something that we did. There was no money involved. There
Yeah.
was nothing. It was just something we felt was the need in the college, and we did it
Mm-hmm.
as a group. And then somebody benefited out of it.
Yeah.
And then that helped them grow in their career.
Wow.
Okay, so I don't know why people like to judge, but I feel that it is a better way if you support each other,
Yeah.
because you feel, when somebody else grows, you even feel better
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
that you were part of their journey in some way.
Yeah. That is really, really true. And I think we sort of will be this first generation of women who are doing it all.
Yeah.
So I guess it's also new for certain people to experience a woman who is not just doing one
Yeah.
thing. So perhaps the judging comes from just not having seen this being done before
Yeah.
successfully.
That's true.
So maybe they're just those concerns, because, and maybe that's the fears that, oh, you will fail to be a good mom or to be a good wife because you're doing so many other things. So now the onus is on us to also do this thing really well, because if we
Because
are
we are
going
setting
for
the
it, we
example.
we have to do it really well. So
Yeah.
that's it's a really interesting conversation, and I guess as the years go by, it will become normal to see so many women doing so many things.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, like I said, as a boy mom, I
Yeah.
feel the onus is a lot on me, because he needs to see how his father is supporting me,
Yeah.
and he also needs to see that I need support and I can
Yeah.
ask for support. So in future, even if he's not asked for support, he can be there as a support.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, because these trends, these settings have been different previously. They have
Yeah.
not been there. So people are not used to seeing them.
Yeah.
And that's where the conditional judgment actually usually comes from. And I think it'll take time to change, but it will change. It will
Yeah.
change. I'm
Yeah.
very sure it will change.
Okay. And for those people who are afraid to pursue more than one dream, what advice would you give them? And especially in being able to recognize which opportunities you should say yes to. Because, like, right now, there's with the advancement of technology, there's so much knowledge out there. So you find people will be saying AI is
Yeah.
the next big thing. Do something in AI. Do something in ESG, because sustainability is the way to go right now. Do something in project management. Project management is the way to go. Others will tell you social media, like
Is the
quit
way
your
to
job
go.
and be a content creator. People are making money off of this. So, how do you just recognize which opportunities to actually say yes to? Because you find people might be just excited.
Yeah.
Yes, AI is the next big thing, but should you go now full time chasing this route, how do you just recognize that opportunity that's perfect for you and say yes to it and go for it?
Okay, so I think there are two ways to approach it.
Okay.
Firstly, we need to understand that not all opportunities can be denied, because if there's a financial aspect attached to that opportunity, and at that point of time, if you are in need of finances, then there is no choosing,
Yeah.
because that is your priority.
Yeah.
And then you have to gulp the fact that you do not love it, what you're going to be doing,
Yeah.
but you still have to do it because at that point of time, that is what you need for your
Mhm.
survival.
Mhm.
Now, when a financial situation is not attached, then that opportunity you can weigh whether you want to take it or not. And like you said, people are mostly just excited about things. They might not into be things. So, for example, I'll just give this example. A chat GPT itself has been around for more than 4 years in the public domain. I have used it 4 years back.
Really?
Yes, you see, people didn't know about it back then. It wasn't the hype because they were still testing. So just as a tech enthusiast, because I just keep up to date what's going on, I
Mm.
knew of it. I have used it, the raw version of it, a lot.
Okay.
But that's the thing. A lot of people didn't know about AI and tools of AI about
Yeah.
4 years back, and now it's just the new thing, the in thing, the trendy thing, and everybody wants to do it.
Yeah.
What you need to see is, A, do your skills match to that opportunity? Because just because something is exciting doesn't mean you have the skill to work with it or on it. B, do you, like I said, if I woke you up at midnight and I said, Delia, let's do a podcast, would you be excited to do it? Yes.
Yes.
But then if I told you, no, let's go and paint right now, maybe not so much, right? So you can't be excited because everybody's having a paint and sip, like, let me do a paint and sip podcast. It can't be, because that's not who you are. And then that's the thing you need to know. Even today, with AI, there are a lot of people succeeding without using AI tools, because they are doing what they want to do. They have the skills to do it, and they have a market for it.
Yeah.
Now, all these exciting things, what they essentially tell you is what the market is going to look like now and the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. But it does not necessarily mean that I immerse myself into AI tools only, because if I don't enjoy it, I will end up feeling burnt out
Yeah.
and moving out and then blaming AI for something that was my fault in the first
Yeah.
place. I need to know, will it interest me to work on it, or I'm just jumping on the wagon because everybody is saying so.
Yeah.
So you really need to know that about yourself. The opportunity is secondary. You need to understand from a place within. Am I right for this? Am I ready for this? Do I have the skills to do it or not?
Yeah.
And then you take it from there. And it makes
Okay.
the decision very easy. My strength is ideation. Strategy and ideation is my strength. And I have been through this a number of times. And now I know that, like you just said, every idea doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to sit down with it to see how it's going to work.
Yeah.
And so it's the same with these decisions. You can pick and choose anything which is trendy and new, but it might not work for you. You need to know what is going to work for you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you need to have the interest, the passion for it, as well as to really analyze what opportunities are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will it align to yourself in the next
Yeah.
5 years? Are you looking at it just because it's trendy, or 5 years down the line it's going to be any use to you or not?
Yeah.
Those are the questions that you need to ask. You don't need to ask that ESG is trending, so let me jump here. No. AI is trending, so let me jump there. It doesn't work like that. You can't keep jumping ships
Yeah.
just because you think they are moving faster. You just need to know what's going to work for you. What do you need out of life? Like, some people just like to serve, others like to make money, others like want to be popular. Do you know what you want inside? Because unless you do, no matter what you choose, it's not going to work out, because you've not worked on yourself
Okay.
as a person.
Okay, I think that's a good framework to use to make such decisions. How has your tech background helped you in your journey right now? You're an audit and operations
Yeah.
manager. So, what kind of skills do you bring into this space from your background that are helping you to stand out?
Thank you. And I think a lot of skills.
Yeah.
So, as a tech person, when you do a project, they put this emphasis a lot on requirement analysis. All right. Now, that's not completely similar, but it is similar to understanding the business when it comes to audit. Because how are you going to audit the internal processes if you do not have an understanding of what is wanted and what is required of the business? And I think that's one of the major things that I brought into from my past experience. Then technically, yes, having knowledge about different IT systems has led me to understand the different systems business work with. You know, it's obviously each system is technical, whether you're using Sage, Pastel, Tally, a property management system, or in service industry, or a POS. I have an internal understanding of how the system works.
Okay.
So it helps me be in a better position to see, what is the better internal control here, which will be
Yes.
effective. You see, now from theory, I can put one and recommend one, but is it going to work? Because I know the system they're using. I can bring in that knowledge to see and ask myself, is this internal control really going to be effective here? Or can I suggest something better that's more practical? You see? And then I have tried to do those recommendations and they've worked. And then the business is not reluctant to take those recommendations. It's usually because if it is not aligning with the practicality of the people standing there and doing the work, at the end of the day, it's going to cause a tussle, or, it's
Yeah.
going to be back and forth on about what you're saying and what they want to do. And it's not going to yield results.
Yeah.
But I think my knowledge from IT has really helped me understand that bit, and it has really made me recommend more effective processes and controls.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think it's a happy moment for both sides that way,
Yes.
because you don't really go so much back and forth. The business get
Yeah.
what they want and you get what you want, because yeah, there's a proper approval, there's
Yeah.
a proper control, and the integrity of the system is intact.
Okay. I've never thought of these two spaces interacting so well. And I think even nowadays I do see job ads that are looking for IT auditors. So it means you
Yeah.
can also fit into that space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good combination.
Yeah, but it's more technical. So
Yeah.
I have seen how IT audit works. That is all. That is
Oh.
purely about your IT systems. Yeah. So I do have a knowledge of
Oh.
that, and you're right. I can go if I want to
Wow.
really further specialize.
Yes.
That is a way to go. But that's more about, say, for example, if you were using a property management system like Opera, for instance. And then the IT audit would see how is it set up for your company, and the
Ah.
controls in the IT system, are they aligning with your policy procedures or not?
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds interesting.
yeah, it's a
I will
very
chat
technical.
to you more about that after.
Sure.
But with how you have been able to apply yourself over the years, um, obviously right now you work with a team,
Yeah,
right?
I do. I do.
So how do you cultivate just that culture of growth and curiosity in your team? Because people have different backgrounds. Some may be
Yes.
comfortable with just being where they are, but do you intentionally try to motivate your team to want to grow?
Yeah, I do. I do
Okay.
that a lot. And I'll take an example from my school days to draw a parallel,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's where I first realized how to do this.
Okay.
It's not through a book or experience or anything.
Yeah.
I was the head of the student council, the
Okay.
student body. And as a student body, you are representing the students, and then there's your teachers and management, and you are at a place in the middle. Like, they will tell you to do things, and you have to get things done from students who don't want to get things done. Like,
Mm-hmm.
nothing's in it for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most difficult phase of somebody to motivate. And having been through that, I think I understand the way it needs to be approached. And I've read a lot of books on management and leadership, and I find those things mentioned there, and I never knew them as, key learnings.
Yeah.
But I had with experience just done that because I had to get my peers to get the work done.
Yeah.
And I realized that, you can have motivation that is not money on a
Ah.
very early stage. And then
Yeah.
in my current teams, I have tried to show them the impact of their work. And when I aligned them with the fact that every single thing they do is impacting the business, which impacts their take home,
Mm-hmm.
I have seen that their attitude towards work has changed.
Ah.
So I keep doing, I feel that everybody needs motivation and
Yeah.
appreciation. So there are moments where you have in house challenges.
Yeah.
It's not just about employee of the month,
Yeah.
it's an open challenge. You give them a timeline, then you look at the performance, and then you reward it. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's taken very well because then the others feel that, okay, next time this happens, maybe I need to be getting that reward.
Yes.
And it's a simple certificate or a small meal, or it can be anything. It's just appreciating the fact that you took time out and looked at them in a different way
Yeah.
than just the fact that they're working for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every human being, like you've said, I think 2 or 3 times, we work with humans. It's about the human capital. It's about
Yes.
touching that human being that you're working with.
Yeah.
So when you look at that in your teams, it
Yeah.
becomes slightly easier to get them to do the work that they were supposed to do, but they're happier doing it. And then you see the results are better.
Okay. I didn't think of that. I think that is a challenge for me now to think about ways in which I can motivate them because other than just what the company has set up in terms of,
Yeah.
oh, this is you beat this target and
Yeah.
that, but just look for other ways to sort of get them excited about work.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes you just let them know. You know how these days people just keep doom scrolling and listening to so
Yes.
many things. And, where are they implementing all of that? I keep
Yeah.
asking my team. I mean, you talk about this speaker and that speaker, but have you really implemented 1% of it? And if you are
Mm.
interested, let me give you a space to do that here.
Yeah.
Let's see you do it.
Yeah.
Let's put action into it. And I
Yes.
think somewhere just to experiment that, people are keen on trying to do, take more responsibility. Like I had a qualified teacher who's working in one of my teams, but in operations, but she's not working as a teacher. And then there was a point where she was upset about something, and we had a one-on-one, and I'm like, but why aren't you, if you're capable of handling children, like that's a difficult job, handling so many at a time. Why is this getting to you? How is this getting to you? Because I think you're not approaching it the way you are capable of approaching it. And I think that changed her perspective in a lot of things. And after that, we've not had issues.
Okay.
She's been able to manage things with her team well. She's managed issues well. So I think sometimes you just need to show someone what they're capable of. They're already
Yes.
there. You just need to let them know, look,
Yeah.
I think nobody's told you, but you're doing a great job,
Yeah.
you know?
That's true. And I think also just playing to their strengths, identifying like what you have just mentioned. So it's not a one size fits all. You
Yeah,
have to really learn and understand your team and identify, okay, this person, I can help them grow in this area
correct,
by doing it this way. Because sometimes what we do as people managing or supervising people is we just adopt the company's
correct.
motivation or performance motivation philosophy, but you have to identify what motivates
Yes,
your team, and
correct.
the only way you do that is by learning and understanding your
Them,
team.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. And what sort of impact do you hope to make for the coming generations in tech or in the creative space or in finance? What sort of impact do you hope to
I
leave?
think I want to leave a legacy that if people learn about me
Yeah.
in any manner, they are able to pick something that they like and they want to try something new. And that's
Okay.
it. And I feel even if one person in my life I've been able to create an impact on,
Yeah.
even if for a day, I've done more than what I came here to do for. You know?
Yeah.
Because I think this idea that is created of all the big investor people and rich people in the world, and you keep seeing these books and these motivation, it's good thing, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, are people really able to do anything about it?
Mm.
And I think that's where they forget. Not everybody will motivate 1,000 or 1,000,000 people,
Yeah.
right? Those are great people. Their destinies were written.
Yeah.
For you, I think, or for me, I would like to say that, it's important what you're doing as you.
Yeah.
Maybe someday you are, we don't know. You will be like the best podcaster the world
Yeah.
has ever seen.
Amen.
Yeah. You know, and it's 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 not about what will be. Your impact
Yeah.
is not what will be. Your
Yeah.
impact is now,
What you're doing
what you're
now.
doing now.
Yeah.
How many lives are you touching right now?
Yeah.
If you're touching more than one life, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
And I think I am there in terms of impact. I feel that if I have touched one life and changed something in it from my life or my
Yeah.
experience, I'm happy. I'm just great there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
I have really enjoyed this conversation with you, Meghna.
yeah.
So, in conclusion, I just want to ask you, what's something that you're working on now that we should look out for, especially us who follow you on
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
Great. So there's two things that you can look out for. One is I'm planning to start a series of workshops.
Oh,
Okay, on LinkedIn, and networking, because I have had that experience of moving countries and starting
yeah.
from starting afresh.
Yes.
And how do you do that? So stuff like that. And then my book two is coming. I'm writing again. So this time it's
Oh.
not poetry.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be fiction. But yeah, 2026. That is it.
Nice. Looking forward to the workshops and the book,
Yeah.
and wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
you.
really
It's been
appreciate.
amazing.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed the
Me
conversation,
too.
and I hope that you will enjoy it too. And if you have learned one or two things, don't forget to comment in the comment section what stood out for you. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel from me at the Money and People podcast. Have a good day and goodbye.